Hello. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hey. Hello. How you doing? I'm glad you clicked here. Welcome to Periwinkle Palace Arts, my little home on the internet, and yeah, a place that we're building and growing together. I'm Princess Bun Bun, here with my Bun Buns, and we do art stuff here. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get into it. You got your coffee? I got my coffee. I had to go make a second cup of coffee. A second cup. I always have 2 cups before my husband leaves. The second one I finished. I make a third one before I come out here. I drank that one, so actually I'm on my 4th cup of coffee. I have my coffee now. Alright, you ready to meet the Bun Buns for today? Say good morning to Maya. Maya says good morning. Maya says she's sleepy. Somebody was snoring all night. I'm not naming any names. She's not naming any names either. But she has her pillow right here. See? She has a little pillow of her own. She keeps it right here in her ear. And then when she's tired, she just lays down. This is Maya. She's my fibromyalgia bunny. And I love her. She's the first one I got, and she's my main girl. And she likes to... You dropped your pillow. I dropped your pillow? That's probably accurate. I got it. I got it. I can get it for you. There we go. Her funny face. She was just like, where'd my pillow went? Like, I really try to keep myself from doing that when we're live, but I can't. I can't help it. It's weird. Alright, you gonna take a nap under my laptop? Okay. We also have... Excuse me, I feel like I need to sneeze. My eyes are watering. Okay. I think I'm not gonna sneeze. I don't know. Don't you hate that? Okay, we also have Fauna. Fauna is another one of the 4 fear responses. And I think we've had her on here before. I'm having trouble remembering who's been on and who hasn't. But this is Fauna. Obviously, she's a little fawn. And she has eggshell patterns because she walks on eggshells. And she has this pretty fur. I haven't seen any of the other bunnies have fur like this. It's so pretty. And she has like this eager to please expression on her face is what they call it. And she can do this. Okay, she never wants to put both paws, but she can. There. It goes for like not speaking. And she just is so adorable. And I absolutely love the texture of this bunny's fur. It's different from all the other bunnies. And then we have my boo, Static. She when she talks, she sounds like one of the Powerpuff Girls. This is Static. She's the dissociation bunny. I love that she has these holographic paws, and her eyes too. Holographic, everything. And then she's very soft, but she has like these cracks of silver through her body, and that's pretty. And also she has a a clock on her tummy, and that's for losing time and not being good with time, which I've mentioned before. I'm not. And she has this adorable like mohawk in the middle of her head. But my favorite thing about this bunny is her ears. They are a different, again, a different texture. It's like they're very curly, but they also have these staticky pieces. And I find myself often like just holding her ear and stroking it. So here's the deal. Today I'm feeling pretty disconnected from my body. And overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I had that appointment yesterday. Everything went fine, but it was still a lot. I had to make some big decisions. I hope I made the right decisions. Won't know for a while. But yeah, it was tiring. I had to leave the house. I had to go to the other house. We had to meet with a guy. I had to listen to the guy. We had to do measurements. We had to figure things out. It was a long process. By the time we were done, I was really tired and really hungry. And then I needed to stop by a store on the way home for something specific. Anyway, whenever I'm feeling like really disconnected from my body, I find that touching things, certain textures, help me to kind of stay a little more grounded and with it, if that makes sense. I think that mostly I'm really overwhelmed and I'm in a lot of pain. So I'm kind of just like dissociating from my body. But I don't want to dissociate from my body right now. I want to be here with you guys. I need a mint for my dry mouth. So, you'll often find me singing, dancing, bebopping, sometimes when I'm talking, sometimes when I'm not talking. If you want to know what I'm listening to, since I haven't figured out a way to be able to play my Spotify in the background for you guys, the best I can do at this time is I have a little screen share of my mini player stuck up here on my screen. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, right there. So you can at least see what I'm listening to. Let's see. I didn't do an afternoon stream yesterday because of the appointment, but before that, I did a morning stream. It's gonna possibly be a weird day. I might find myself like trying to think of what I was just saying or doing a lot more than usual. So yesterday we did these bushes and this tree. We did all of the little houses. We did the tiny flowers all around here, and we did the tulips right here. So really, all we have left to do is Galinda and her dress. We need to do something with this over here though, and I still want to figure out the yellow brick road a little better. To do that, I'm gonna assist myself by kind of drawing directionally out on this plain paper where this road will be going, so I can figure out where I need to like orient the lines, because it's a little confusing to my eyes. But I think we're coming along quite well, and I think we're gonna start on her today. We may not figure out this yellow brick road until it's the last thing that we have to finish. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I got my black Verithin pencil. We're just gonna do this real quick first. If you're just joining in and you want to see other aspects of this on the live stream, well, yesterday we worked on the yellow brick road and did the flowers and all of that. That was morning. Then I think the day before, the afternoon, was the yellow brick road and this green background. And then before that one was the Emerald City. I think that was yesterday morning? No. Yesterday was Wednesday. Tuesday morning we did the Emerald City. And Monday afternoon we did the clouds in the sky. And Monday morning we did the rainbow. So that gives you an idea of which stream to skip back to if you want to see a particular part of this little project. What I'm going to do here, I want to take this road that I made and go kind of like to where it will go back around. So if I imagine it's coming out this way, right? And then it goes like way far off in the distance. Because what I want is for this part to turn like this. Then it would come back around to here. So it's a little bit helpful. And then this dress, I feel like I can add so that's something, right? I might bring this around like so, and instead of trying to add a fold in here like I did on the other one, I could cover it with foliage. Maybe? I don't know. I think that I want to come back through these little orange tulips right here and add some color to them, but we'll see. So if this was going this way, I think lines would go across this way. Okay. I don't know if what I'm doing makes sense to you, but I'm not going to draw these lines on it yet. I'm trying to gauge which direction I need these lines to go, honestly. That's all. So if it were going out this way, our lines here would be going this way. From that, I can determine where the lines need to go for everything else. So I'm going to set this aside, and then we're going to color something. I'll come back to that in a little while. I just wanted to do that to make sure that what I was seeing in my head was the same thing I needed to see on the paper. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I was doing. In a second. What do we need to do art? We need bunny ears. There we go. I have my breakdown of which colors we're using. 37. I also have a little breakdown here of what colors you need for each part. We're starting with her skin, so that's going to be eggshell, which is E21 in Copics. Light peach, which is R00. Peach, which is E13. And burnt ochre, which is E37. Okay? This is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be quick. So with E37, I'm going to start with my cast shadow here. There we go. I needed it to pause. Okay. I'm going to come up right here, kind of like to her eye line. I'm trying to... Dear hands, please cooperate. I'm not trying to do dots today. Hello. So under her chin, we're just going to kind of make that. And we're going to come past the front of her neck and bring that down a little bit. We're going to come around the rest of her hair. All right.
This is a reminder. Take a nice down together. This is a reminder. Take a nice down together.
All right, so at the palm here, we're going to come right underneath. I always find fingers a little difficult to do. I'm going to come around the hand, underneath, and then we're just barely going to come around this finger, and then we're going to go up a little bit. Again, very, very shaky this morning. I feel like this is weird where she's putting this, but that's where she's putting it. And I didn't do it like this last time. Okay, so I'm also going to come down through here and just mark that her arm is kind of there. And then same on this side. Okay. That looks weird. I know it does. It'll be fine. I've done this a few times now. What the shit is happening? What is happening? What is this that's happening? Okay. Next color would be this E13. And come out from where we were just a little bit, like not a lot. It's kind of that concept of we're wetting it and letting it spread. And I'm really just coming back over that line first. This is something I like to do when I'm trying to blend skin. So I like to keep my color, my next color, really right where the last color was, and then I'll come back to that area and I'll move the color out a little bit, but really I like to wet it first. And that is pretty much just a me thing. Nobody told me to do that ever. It's just a thing I do. I missed something there. Hang on. Atari. done that, and there's some areas where it can come out a little bit, right? And some areas I already came out on it as far as I really want to go. All right. All right. Next is E21. Same thing. There's a hair on me. I just can't find it. I see it. I'm gonna bring this further out up here. Can we just have one cup of coffee for it? And then we have, what is this? R00. I like to make sure when I'm doing skin tones that if I need to kind of adjust the tone, if it's like too orange or, you know, too, maybe too yellow, too red. So you'll bring in a marker or a color that's gonna counteract that. But if I have to do that, I like to make sure that I get this toning color absolutely all over the original colors. Me and my iPad don't get along when it comes to a 2-finger touch, okay? It really doesn't like to do it for me. So that's pretty saturated, right? I'm sorry, what I meant to say is it's looking pretty desaturated in the dark colors. So in those shadow areas, can you see how it's got those little dots of separation? So that's why we do a second layer sometimes. Because to blend really well, sometimes you have to add a lot of that lighter color, and the lighter color kind of dilutes the darker colors, so you need to come back over it. Some days when I come to my desk, I have a lot of energy and I'm just bubbly and chatty and I talk. Other days, I'm a little more reserved. And here's the thing, I've decided that I'm going to stream regardless of what kind of day it is. When I do my art for the day, I'm gonna stream. Now, where it comes to the part of the arm that's supposed to be kind of like seen through the transparent puffy sleeve there. I'm not going to come back over it with the dark colors. I am going to go back over it at the end. Well, not all the way at the end. I am going to come back over it at some point and add lighter colors and maybe even some colorless blender to it to fade it a little bit more. I'm definitely not going back through it with this color. Now when we go over it the second time, I often will go over it a lot faster than I did the first time because the color's already there and it's already starting to blend, and going quick kind of helps it from doing the desaturation again. So I'm just gonna go real quick over this like so. I'm going to go back through the transparency on the arms with this. And that's like basically her skin all finished. Y21, we're going to start on her hair now. Right. Okay, we're going to need burnt ochre for her hair. And jasmine. That jasmine is Y21. That's what I've got in my hand. And also goldenrod, which is going to be Y17. Y21. And cream, which is Y00. We're going to take Y21. And map in our cast shadows. So she's got this little green wreath thing going around up here. I'm going to come around that. Now I have to look at this real close to find the strands that I want to color in various areas. Like we know have cast shadows here and here. Okay. Let's see. I got this one over here. I'm trying to get the little hairs that are standing out a bit. tablespoon of all the things you can put in a phonetic maid. Give me just a second. Alright, I'm gonna grab goldenrod, and we're doing a little bit backwards. I usually go from the darkest color to the lightest color, but we're not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go basically over everything I did already. I do struggle with the fine lines for hair a little bit when it comes to markers, because like I'm still learning how to get these tiny strokes in, but it's doable. Okay, I'm gonna go through with the E37. I'm gonna try to make the E37 less amount overall of ink than the two colors I just put in. And then we're gonna come back and try to blend it out. And I don't know if this is gonna work like this. Experimentation. Like I said, usually I do this from darkest to lightest. But actually, y'all, I just had an idea. Hang on. I'm going to take Y00 over everything. I'm not trying to blend, I'm trying to lay down kind of like a base color here. Maybe I should have done this in the first place. Who knows, right? Okay. Was that a mistake? We'll find out, won't we? Okay. Oh, crud. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. I'm struggling with this today, guys. It'll be alright though. I promise. It will be fine. I think I need to move my marker into a different position in my hand for this. I'm not getting the strokes the way I usually do. I'm struggling with them more than usual is what I'm trying to say. It's a little better. Okay. That's almost the best I can do today. So what I'm gonna do, because obviously I've got a little bit of a mess going on here, is I'm gonna use the lighter colors to fix that. It will be fine. I'll be giving your head up, darling. Okay. It's something. Like, why? Why? I don't know why my marker is sticking like that. It might be because it's leaking a little bit of ink. I'm gonna use this color to come back over all the darkness, and we'll start making that look nicer. I gotta get this up further. Further from the page. But it's hard to do when my hands are being the quirky little things they are. I'm using the edge here. I don't. Can I explain this? I'm using that edge of the cast shadow around her hair on her skin as kind of like the bottom of her hair, so that I can go up against it and add this darker shade to the bottom of it, to the bottom of the hair. not easy to tell. I so fall into the rabbit hole. Lost a mind away. Okay, we come back with the color we started with, which is Y21. And mostly I'm going through with this color, and I'm just trying to get these little brown, darker brown lines to kind of separate. I'll be honest, I'm not happy with this at the moment. I'll tell you a secret though. Whenever I don't like it, I just keep messing with it until I do. And if I can't get it to where I like it with markers, I'll just come back over it with pencils and clean it up. Now, I'm going to come back over the whole thing pretty heavily with the Y00. Jimmy, go look on the wall in my room where the light switch is when you walk in. Find one you want to use. I use my head to block my kid. I can be in I don't hate it. I don't love it. I want like this one, G17. I'm gonna go through this little headband thing, and I'm gonna do something a little different. Kind of making a little circles around on her hair. Just adds a little bit of interesting detail. And I'm going to bring through YG13. I just picked that randomly. And I'm going to just quickly go over that and let it kind of blend all by itself. And that was simple. I'm still trying to figure out what to do right here. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm a little fed up. I don't want to color this that far out. Okay. We're just gonna cut this off. I don't want to do it. It's just visually, I'm not liking it. That went a little crooked. It's fine though. I'm just gonna take this and slide it up. I think that's good. I'm just kind of being lazy about it today. I guess I need to change the blade on that knife. All right. It's a little funny. This is kind of the same spot I was at on my last one where I was like, I don't want to deal with this, and just trimmed it off. There we go. All right, so now what do I do? I'm going to make this right here match the rest of the yellow brick road to start with. Burnt ochre, yellow ochre, jasmine, E37. And I know I added another color in there too. I'm not sure which color it was though. I think it was Y08. Y08. And then yellow ochre is YR23. And then we also had jasmine, which is Y21. And we have cream, which is Y00. And then I know that we've also pulled in some of the U44, I think. And what else was it? Oh yeah, the Y quadruple 0 and Y triple 0. Okay, so we're gonna make this part right here look like the rest of it. And I think we started with putting down Y00 everywhere. I kind of want to try and keep the blend the same, although I know I'm not really gonna manage that very well. But we can do it. I'm gonna apply this with the texture. I'm gonna try and merge this together so it looks like it was colored at the same time, I guess. Y21. It doesn't have to match exactly because honestly, nobody's gonna pay that much attention to it. I just don't want it to look weird up against the rest of it. I'm going over the little dots that I don't love with this also. I'm gonna go back and forth between these colors here a lot. I might even pull in a few more. We'll see what happens. I feel like maybe I need like a brown gray. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying to not cover everything. I'm definitely spacing these out a lot more than I did previously. I'm turning my marker tip a lot more. I think what my idea here is going to require is going to be a couple of markers that are a different level or tone of color, and using the chisel nib to kind of make some stripey looking things. I'm still trying to avoid coloring in the lines, honestly. I don't really don't know if this is gonna work, which is why I've come back to it so many times. That kind of looks a little cobbled, doesn't it? Are we getting somewhere? Oh, oh, we are getting some cobbly look. I think the trick here is shifting the position of the brush nib to make different shapes here, and then making sure there's enough space between them. What this is requiring from me right now is that I do a little bit, let it dry a little bit, look at it, and see what it do next. So it takes a little longer sometimes when you're experimenting with something. I could have done this in like 2 layers, just scribbly kind of mess and lines, and been done with it. But I wanted to try something, and so when you're trying something, you go back and forth and you wait and you stare at it for a little bit. You do what I call the art stare, and sometimes it takes longer. Capsize, think I'm getting where I want to go. So I'm going to let that dry for a couple of seconds. I'm going to come back in with my lighter colors and this Y08 that I used in the middle. And I'm going to try to go in between these little patterned smudgy things I've got going here. So I'm going to start with the Y00. And we're going to come up here. And where it's lightest is where I'm going to put my marker. Trying to go in between the darker areas. Okay. Same thing. I want to keep this to the center of the road as well. The reason I keep going up into the dark area here is because I'm still trying to create that texture underneath the dress. I don't need it to be as definitive as the lighter areas, but I do want it to look somewhat textured. It's working, it's working. Woohoo! I'm probably gonna cut this part off, to be honest, like right there. But I'm using the bottom as a test spot as well, so. Okay, we're gonna come through with this bright yellow 8, yellow 08, Y08. Why? I can't talk today. I cannot talk. I can't talk any day. I don't know why I say that like it's different. And I'm actually on this back part, just coming right through the center of this road with this bright yellow. There goes my depresso. It's 10:28. I think I can make it to lunch. If you notice, I have the brown dots lower down here than I do over here anywhere else. That's because I'm testing in this spot right here to see how it looks if I were to bring the brown dots, the darker brown dots, through some of this other stuff. But really, I think it's finally turning out the way I wanted it. Okay. Let me grab my very lightest color here. That's going to be Y quadruple 0. Let me stare at this for a second. I'm going to bring this color straight through the center and nowhere else. I'm going to do it a few times. So, straight through the center here. I want to lighten the texture that runs through the center of the road. This is almost the color of, I was gonna say it's almost the color of the colorless blender, and it is, but the colorless blender is literally clear. So I guess that it doesn't really actually have a color. Again, I'm just going straight through the center of the road. And I'm not texturizing this, I'm just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Again, it's super wet. So I want it to desaturate down the center of this. And while the ink itself will move towards the edges and desaturate that a little bit, that's okay. I just want to keep the layer of ink that I'm putting down right in the center. Okay. And I'm gonna just kind of really heavily apply this right through the center. So this too, not really through the center, but along the edge, because her dress has the cast shadow right there. But the road is actually going this direction. And then the bottom here, there's not really a center area, so I'm just kind of flooding this area with this super light color. And then bring that kind of up here. Wow, honestly, I think we turned it into a yellow brick road without lines, people. I think we did. So I'm gonna come back through with this really bright yellow, and then I think we'll probably be calling it a morning. All we have left to do is her dress. Almost done. I always get excited a little bit. Okay, not a little bit. When you're excited, right? I always get kind of excited when I get close to the end of a project. Inevitably, that's usually when something goes terribly wrong. It doesn't matter, I still get excited. I just do. Yes, child.
How do we make these less wrinkly fast?
Go get a clean washcloth or hand towel and drench it in water, wring it out, throw them both in the dryer, and there's a setting in there that says wrinkle release. It won't make them perfect, but it'll do a pretty good job.
Interview accepted.
I will
keep the washcloths and hand towels again?
over the where the coffee maker is.
Ain't none up there. Ain't none up there.
Open the cabinet. Look up. On the second shelf, maybe?
Scrap.
Well, you need something bigger than that. Go look in my bathroom.
Okay.
there should be some fairly mostly clean towels on the ground. Okay, so real quick, I keep saying that today. I'm going to take the colorless blender. There are spots on the dress where there's just a little bit of ink sticking in, and I want to mostly get rid of that. So, starting in the non-colored area, I'm gonna color with the colorless blender right up to the edge. And if you wait a couple of seconds, you'll see it start to kind of disappear, the ink. So anywhere that I got kind of messy on the edges, I'm gonna do that. Now, you're not gonna get rid of it completely. Usually, sometimes it does go away completely. But it will move it a little bit, and you'll be able to color over it and it won't even be noticeable. Got it, baby? Jules? Okay. He's getting ready for a job interview. Even if it doesn't get rid of all the color will soften the edges, just like it did up here when we blended out the edges of the rainbow. It'll soften that color, and the color will be easier for you to go over with a different color, and it'll be fine. You really don't even need to do this, honestly. You could just leave it as it was and start coloring, but I feel like being a little bit persnickety right now. I don't think that I'm gonna do anything else to the road, honestly, because I think how it is right now is pretty much just how I wanted it. Right. See how it just starts to fade? There's a spot right here. But you always start back in the uncolored area when you do that, because you want the ink to go towards the outer edge. And it does that when you do like this. And then we got some that's barely peeking over right here. I don't know what he said. See, that almost completely disappeared. And then we've got a few spots down here at the bottom. And if you can see with the colorless blender how these colors kind of disappear, it helps you understand in your mind how you can put lighter colors over darker colors and make that blending happen. What? Okay. Okay. That's definitely not the best job I've ever done on hair before. We're definitely going to clean that up. And we're close to being down. When we're close to being done. Alright, let's see. So for the dress, the colors we're going to be using are... Where is it? Sorry about that. There we go. So we're going to need henna, which is E19. I keep looking at it, and I'm thinking I probably am going to come back and work some more on her hair. We'll see. We need E19, RV14, RV42. Where are you? There it is. And RV10. Okay. So we'll have these, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull out RV quadruple 0 and triple 0. I'm going to put these up. Triple and quadruple. I can tell you right now, I know I'm going to be using the colorless blender. I'm going to put our double 0 in here. And yeah, I'll put these up. Okay. So we've done some experimenting, all of that. And like I said, I think the yellow brick road came out how I wanted it to. So when we come back from lunch, we're going to do her dress. We'll work a little bit more on the hair, and then depending on whether we have time and I have the energy, we might start the finishing part of it today, or that may wait until tomorrow. And the finishing part is when I go through and clean everything up and add white highlights and make everything nice and sharp details. So like up in here, you see the kind of wiggliness of some of the tops of these buildings. We'll fix that when we're finishing. So we have all our colors. And yeah, I'm gonna come back after lunch. I am coming back today. But until then, thank you for hanging out with me at Periwinkle Palace Arts, my little place on the internet. I'm Princess Bun Bun with all of my bun buns. All my bun buns. And we did art here today, so sorry. We did art here today. Bye.